Star Joe, Rastafari, Soprano Records, Sizzla Kalongie.
Yes, Gambia, good afternoon to all the beautiful listeners. You tuned to Capital Radio 100.4, the sound of a new generation, and we are coming to live from our studios on Carava Avenue, or you can better have us via the internet on www.capitalfm.gm. Welcome to Capital Radio, and this is Papa Jamz hosting a special guest born in Augustown in Kingston, Jamaica. Somebody who we can say is the most commercially, critically, and successfully reggae dancehall artist, constantly hitting charts all around the world.
Right.
Reggae-wise, a huge figure in the reggae music industry. Officially called Miguel Orlando Collins. Widely, we call him the Honorable Sizzla Kalongie. Yeah, man. He many smashing hits. He dropped many albums. So, Sizzla, good evening, and we are welcoming onto our studios, Capital Radio.
Pleasant evening, and it's definitely a pleasure for me being here.
Okay, you are here for the Roots Homecoming Festival. May I ask you, are you seeing this as a fulfillment of prophecy? Because the likes of Garvey, many people prophesied this thing before.
Yes, certainly. Because you see, the Roots Homecoming Festival, we enrich unity through culture. It's a form of healing from the transatlantic slave trade, connecting the diaspora with Africa. Because we don't like say diaspora, a lot of our people that died, diaspora. And you don't know, connecting Africa for an African Renaissance. So I'm honored to be a part of it all, and it's just another stepping stone, and it's growing. And I support it very well, because we need to be doing a lot more of these festivals, taking all our sons and daughters, the talented ones who can sing. They can spearhead it, go ahead, break the field, meet the African people, meet your government, meet your brothers and your sisters, get settled in the country, go back with good tidings, and bring the others. That's what it's all about. That Back to Africa movement Marcus Garvey spoke about, we're here to enforce it 100%.
Okay, when you talk about Sizzla, your perseverance to African Renaissance is not questionable, because we have seen Sizzla in Africa, in Gambia twice, in the Gambia, we've seen you in Zimbabwe. Sizzla's voice, is somebody who will for social justice. How do you see, over 200 years after we abolished slavery, still the slave masters cannot tell us sorry, and still we are tied in new colonialism? What is the way out?
Well, naturally, Africa need to stand on its own. If we, the African families, can be slaved and our continent raped of its natural resources just to build the Western world, why can't we take this beautiful continent and do it for ourselves? We need to be self-reliant, self-taught. Everything we need to do for ourselves. So we need to encourage our youths strongly. Despite you got a lot of distractions out there in the Western world, such as the medias, you know what I'm saying? Because the medias at times tends to distort the truth. But the limelight, the fantasies, little kids, they like these stuff. Babylon keep playing on the minds of our children like dangling a carrot in front of a rabbit, because they're humans. They need stuff. They need clothes, they need houses, they need shoes, they need cars, they need medicine, they need education. So Africa need to provide what our children need. So we should do a feasibility study on what's really luring, or should say compelling our children to go to the Western world, and see if it's in a good sort, and create it for ourselves. So if you see that our children love computer, they love cellular phones, they love cars, they love pretty shoes and clothes, why can't we manufacture all those stuff for Africa, so it keep the minds of our children here, and occupying the minds of our children by creating things for themselves from their own natural resources in Africa. Educate our children, teach them to respect their leaders, teach them to respect their elders, teach them to respect their brothers and their sisters. No crime, no violence. The world is being built from Africa's natural resource. So we Africa need to take our own resource and build for ourselves. And we, as the people, now I'm speaking to the entire Africa through Gambia, we, the African children, because sometimes I would say most of the times, it is our children who are going astray. So I'm speaking to the children now at this instant. You, the children in Africa, after being sent through the education or the tertiary institutions, you need not to just leave your country. You can visit other countries, but you need to sit in your own factories, sit in your own offices, sit in your own television station, sit in your own hospitals, sit in your own supermarkets, clean your own street, govern your own country. That's a country. Because the slave master, he had designed it to distract you from doing your own. He's trying to distract Africa from building Africa. Don't allow that.
Okay. Here, Sizzla, education basically is the way out from neocolonialism, imperialism, anything you might call it. Sizzla, now we talk on your musical life. Since in the mid-90s when you got with the Zagalu record from Homo Harris, introducing you to Dim Fraser, Exterminator Records,
yes,
having many nominees for the MOBA Awards, and the Messiah for the Grammy Awards, and now Bonner King. How was it your musical life, Johnny? Was it tough?
Yes, and I'm still here, and this is where it had brought me now. Presently on this radio station in Gambia, you don't know, Haile Selassie, Capital FM. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as you said, Capital FM.
I tell you, yeah.
I remember learning principal and capital at school in mathematics or some of the sort of accounting.
Yeah, right.
No, Babylon is capitalizing on Africa.
Uh-huh.
He's trying to make a lot of money by selling black children. By coming to Africa and digging out your natural resources, your gold, your diamond, your plutonium and everything, and go back to the West with it. I will not allow that. And that is what I'm trying to get into the heads, the minds of the children of today. Don't sell your land. And I'm going to be serious right about now. I cannot go nowhere in England, America, Europe, Russia, Canada, or any of these slave master country and dig up the land. They would prison you. So why things they don't like for themselves, they're doing it to Africa. We will not stand for that. So it's a journey, and this is where I reach.
Okay. Now, some of the controversies that Sizzla do entangle with sometimes, Sizzla, the lashing of gay people lead sometimes do bring certain, Sizzla being banned in some countries, where Sizzla been banned from having visas, in Canada, in some European cities. How do you see this challenge? Because I will not call it an obstacle, but challenges. How are you living up to this challenge?
Hail to the Most High, His Imperial Majesty Emperor King Selassie and Queen Omega, his wife, is man and woman. I came here, I look in Gambia, I saw the fathers, I saw the mothers, and that's the process through which we create life. So homosexual is anti-Africa, it's anti-Rasta. We burn out homosexuals. No homosexuals, no lesbians, no child abduction, no extortion, no killing, no picking, no stealing, no slandering, no backstabbing. Educate yourself. You have nothing to do, find yourself in a little room, sit in a chair and read a book, a conscious book. Don't just read anything, because Babylon is trying to distract Africa from building Africa.
That's the spiritual Bobo Asante youth, Sizzla Kalongie, the enormous prolific as Sizzla, going strong in the reggae music still these days. Bonner King, tell us now, this new album, Bonner King, tell us this.
Well, this album was produced by a producer called Jake from Europe, or Austria, I should say. Now, I've been working over the years doing music, and a lot of people like Sizzla, different nations, and we stand to unite the world. So don't let Babylon divide and conquer us through religion, ethnic groups, gender, or class. We want to see a united Africa. Never again will we allow our people to be enslaved. African people break the mental chains. Now, we produced this album just to highlight to the world the spirituality of Rastafari, the consciousness of the black man and woman based upon the tradition and the culture of Africa. We tend to integrate our culture, to interrelate information to each other, way in which we can understand ourselves best. We can't have a limit towards our communication. There's no limit towards Africa's communication with the people in the diaspora or on the whole world. So I've made this album to heighten the spirit and to continue with the musical process. And it's another, I would say, part of my compilation on my mission, because if you're going out there, if you're going to school, for example, you need your books, you need your pencils, you need your bag, you need a uniform. I would say you need all these apparatus to attend to school. Well, I can't be going on the road and have no music. I need music. Every day I need music. Music is my whole entire life. As I wake is music. Before I go and have a rest is music. Whenever time I'm praying, it's music. You're singing and giving praise to the Most High is music. So I continue to make music because that's my passion. I like music best. But then again, I use it as the tool in which I can lead the people, educate the people, and highlight the truth to the people. So this is a new album. It's called Born a King. Hope you enjoy. Gambia.
Ghana, Prorati, give us a song from the Born a King, then after you talk about this.
Don't you worry, I'm a people. Cause Rasta never leave you. Babylon try to deceive you.
Capital Radio.
Capital FM. Kadamawi. I sat my brack. Indebted to the Most High. Ease off, Babylon. I'm living for the sick and the poor, the hungry and the shelterless, sleeping on the floor. I'm giving all I got and more. I know God bless me and open up the doors. I'm living for the young and the old, the blind and the deaf and the dumb. As you know, I'm giving.
One more, one again.
Pull up the one there. Pull up the one.
Yeah, Prorati, yes, I hand you over the microphone. You have to say
Power Jamz, it's been, like I said in the beginning, it's a pleasure to have a man like Sizzla in the Gambia. And the first thing is, like, I must commend him because this is second time coming to Gambia. And then it's like, as a DJ, this is the question I have for him. What are the other Jamaicans in Jamaica, like big artists, because most of these successful artists in Jamaica sings about Africa. So it's like, in one way or the other, Africa has contributed to your musical career, and then it's kind of hard sometimes to have Jamaican reggae artists in Africa.
No, there and then, our origin is from Africa.
That's right.
So even if we weren't Jamaicans, even if we haven't been given any names after being transported to the Western world, we would still be Africa.
That's right.
So you will always hearing the cry of the slaves or the cry of the children wanting to come out of wicked Babylonian. So that goes to show that 94% of the people in the Western world, or in the diaspora I should say, are of black African origin. So there and then you must hear the African culture, tradition coming out of them. Now, based on the fact that the reggae music, the reggae dancehall music on a whole, bashes against corruption. We use this music to express ourselves, our innermost feelings about the persecution we felt from Babylon. They're always like trying to zip the mouth of the artists. They're trying to get the music dampened. They're not opening any channels for us to come around here in Africa. Sometimes the price for the tickets way too much. They can't afford stuff like those.
That's right.
You need more African promoters doing more shows, inviting us here. And that's one of the main reasons why I do see this African Roots Homecoming Festival, Unity Through Culture, as a stepping stone for us. So duties producers should be doing, I'm seeing where in which the President, His Excellency Yahya Jammeh, and the government of Jamaica is doing it through a typical example of the Roots Homecoming Festival, sending for artists, taking them here.
That's right. Don't you think some of the media try to portray about Africa wars, diseases, and all that stuff?
Certainly.
It's kind of things that don't you think it contributes to some of the artists being scared like in Africa is only war?
I could say that in a sense, yes, because sometimes you have people, they're really cocky. You know what I'm saying? But whenever time they say anything bad about Africa, Jamaica gets wild. We don't like hearing nothing bad about Africa. So that's another part where people thinking about mosquitoes and malaria. Yes, we're concerned about not having any illness or sicknesses, but not just Jamaica, but Africa and the whole, and not just Africa, the whole entire planet. But you can't tell Jamaica nothing bad about Africa, man. Don't do that. Fire burn.
Okay, Sizzla, my final question.
Yes, sir.
What's your concern about the violence in the music? Because I understand reggae dancehall, it's a music of upliftment, peace, love, and unity. That's what it spread.
Violence in the music is just based upon greed, selfishness, wanting all for yourselves. The popular fame and fortune and the vast incomes it brings sometimes lure people in the wrong way, and based upon the sufferation and the struggle, you got others that would sing ragamuffin music, we call gangster song or dancehall songs, but that's just the vibration of the people and what they've been through. They just express through the music, but you can't just use one bad bird and spoil the whole flock.
Yeah, man.
So whenever time you see someone doing good, you should commend them. Not because he's doing well, you still need to encourage that person. And whenever time you're seeing someone doing bad, you need to culture that person, advise that person to go in the good sense. So that's just me. So I don't waste time on the bad lamb.
What about you? What's your name?
Empress Reggae.
Empress Reggae.
And this is original Scratchellas. Zine.
Scandalous. Now, you are with Sizzla Kalongie. You people came to the Gambia for the Roots Homecoming Festival.
That's right.
Well, can you tell us your Gambian experience?
Well, I'm very happy to be here. Big up the Minister, Mamadou Diouf, His Excellency, the President, Dr. Yahya Jammeh, Uncle Sizzla Kalongie, my daddy Scratchellas, Honorable Madam Auntie Fatou.
Then what have you learned?
Well, I've learned that Nangadef, uncle.
Nangadef Jamarek.
Yes, Scratchellas.
Yeah, man. Well, yes, Empress Reggae. Well, this is my second time in the Gambia, and the Gambia for me is when I came here in 2011, I knew I had to get to work. The need is great, and the people are beautiful, and they have a beautiful heart and a spirit. So, we're here to work, seeing and how we could say, reset the mindset and bring things our way and make the youth them know say they have a future and the future is bright.
Okay, that's Scratchellas, huh?
And we'll leave with the acapella.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Remember, Gambian children, Babylon plan their work and work their plan, and those who are not aware and don't understand because of false education, fairy tales, and what children are lost. They come from chocolate, illusions, and don't know the cause. Well, some were one smart and two smart, and some got caught, and some were sold, and some were bought, and some were greedy, naive, and never got taught, and some are in denial, even though they played a part. Top to the FM, but therefore reset the mindset in order to cleanse their minds.
Empress, say something.
Africa, Mother Africa, land of the ancient and the wise. It all began in Africa, the first schools and churches, where my ancestors built the first temples and palaces. Jah Rastafari, Tawadaka, thank you.
And I want to extend the credibility to the Dr. Yahya Jammeh. You don't know, say, saying he gave me the name Senny Jammeh. I make up the Honorable Minister, Madam Photo.
What's your Gambian name?
Senny Jammeh, Scratchellas.
What about Sizzla? Sizzla. What's your Gambian name?
Famara Jammeh.
Famara Jammeh.
I mean, okay. You know why I like it? When the took you away. They gave you the names of the slave masters. So nothing is wrong if we come to Africa and the African gave us name. We don't care. We love it.
Samara.
Love it.
Okay, Sizzla, the judgment yard. You would like to have the extension of the judgment yard in the Gambia.
Excuse me, sir. What you
The
say?
judgment yard.
Yes.
The extension of the judgment yard in the Gambia. Will it be possible?
Then no, you mean judgment yard in Jamaica is the extension of Africa? Oh, yes, it's extension, see me.
Yes.
So, may I say, big up Salso, said we.
the MD.
But a lot of artists in the West want to come to Africa, but you know, the plane flight, the visa, the costing, it's terrible. So seeing the president doing this, I know it will further encourage other producers and promoters to take up this music industry and go ahead. Yes, I. Big up Latrikunda, Hoto, Imbakunda, Serekunda. You don't know, Cape Point, you don't know. Go big up yourself same way. And you don't know, I'm going to big up the Minister of Education, Minister of Tourism, you don't know, Set Speed, the Honorable Permanent Secretary, His Excellency Yaya Jammeh, Her Excellency the Vice President, and all dignitaries, royal and distinguished guests. Gambian, you're doing bright, your future is bright. Sizzla Kalongie, love you, love from Jamaica, love from the entire world, but please listen, don't allow the slave master to repeat slavery. You won't allow slavery to be repeated.
And big up to Mr. Sol, the MD of Capital Radio. Big up to you, Mr. Sol, and big up to the ghetto superstar, Busy Ass. Thank you.
Beauty unfold.
Yeah.
Capital Radio.
Yeah. You know it's Sizzla Kalongie. Savannah Records. One love on a car. Woo! My love, my love, my love, my love. Precious little love. Are you there? Woo! Every day my love gets stronger. Girl, I pray that it lasts much longer. And anywhere I'm at, girl, you're just on my mind. Your beauty is astounding, girl, it's so clear. And even when I close my eyes, you're still there. How can you blame me for wanting you so near? You're divine.